Hear people better. April 28th, 2026. The backpack came in. Also has some fresh bread. It overproofed last night, so the last couple of days have been weird. Yesterday I completely, I recorded a video and then I just completely fucking didn't watch it or upload it or anything. Which is fine because I was mostly talking about the assassination attempt and how everybody's a fucking idiot when it comes to calling it staged. It's just like, it's like when the first one happened and everybody's calling it staged, and it's like, nobody has proof of that. Stop making bullshit up. So I just got back from physical therapist and my new backpack is here. I was considering opening it, but I'm going to hang off for now. It's an Osprey bag. It was recommended to me. I'm probably still going to open it before the time comes, probably soon. Just because I need to be able to put my laptop in it and then, like some other sundries and stuff. Screw it, let's open it now. Fuck it. I got to do it one way or another. But I'll just let it sit in the closet until it's time to go to Iceland, basically. And I got this color because it was the cheapest one, and I'm like, I don't care what color things are anymore. I used to care, but I don't anymore. Little chest enclosure thingy. That's going to be interesting, though. We'll see. It looks better than my other backpack, quality-wise anyway, because I've had the other one for 10 years now. And while it still does the job, I felt that it was a good idea to try to... Oh, what do we have here? Okay. So a little zipper block. So you can kind of like stow it away. And then there's the... Oh, okay. Interesting. So I guess if I don't want to open up the front end of it, I can open up the back end of it. What the hell? Oh, there's another zipper that goes all the way the fuck around? Oh, it's this one. And this one goes all the way. What the hell? Oh, okay. But no, there's a second zipper here. The fuck? Oh, it helps to expand it. I see. So I can make it slightly bigger if I need to. Alright, that's cool. I have no idea if and when I'll ever use that feature. But, okay. The one thing that it has that I'm definitely glad it has, and I gotta check to see how well it works. I don't know if it will, though. And looking at it, I don't know how well it's gonna last, but... Okay. That is what I was after. This is basically a Yeti. It's a beautiful bastard one that I got from Phil DeFranco back during, I think, the COVID days. And, alright, so, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, that was, oh, it's got two of them, which is good. Ah, it's got a side handle. That's what I thought it had. I wasn't sure where it was at, and now that it's there, good. The side handle is very interesting to me because I feel like it's actually like a really good idea just for any backpack to have. Alright, so it's doing a good job there. But yeah, like the side handle is cool to me because sometimes I just like, even if it's just like I'm holding on to it like on the bus or something, that side handle can be useful just to kind of hang on to it in that way. And, it serves myriad purposes, and I don't see a reason why not to incorporate it. One might be saying, well, cost. And it's like, okay, charge a little bit more. Recoup your costs. Put it on bags anyway. Fuck it. I'm tired. Just got back from the physical therapist's office. And also, I've been just like having the wildest fucking weekend when it comes to just mental state and all kinds of shit. Just haven't really been, like, Sunday was a bad day just for whatever nonsensical reason. Just was having a shit mental health day. And then Monday was okay, but not great. Oh, man. Wash my hands real quick. You know, speaking of soap, I figure I should at least provide a little bit of a showcase my progress. So, this is the current state of my Toneberry. So I'm like trying to figure out the best way to carve out those interior parts, and just like this is the first one, obviously. So right now I'm working on the macro scale, and here's all the shavings for it, because I don't want to just throw them away, not presently anyway. And so right now I'm mostly just trying to get the general shape, carving out the general macro cuts that need to be gotten, need to be taken care of. And then once I'm done with that, I'll have a better understanding of how that works. And I will progress on that one just to try to get to a general sense of a final piece without going into any kind of like crazy detail. So like, I'll try to get the knife. I'll try to get, a little bit of a hand, because it's not really a hand. It's always just like a little nubbin that has no real detail to it. So that's nice. But also, it's kind of rough to do with the blade because you're dealing with, rounded edges, or you're dealing with rounded objects. And this is pretty small, obviously. So, I've got to, going through this process is a twofold form of education at minimum. And that is, it's like, one, it's what can I do? What can I currently do? And then what are the next steps that, like, I just don't know? And through practice will give me more information. About, and therefore increasing my knowledge. I'm looking up like tips and stuff, and most of them are like really simple shit, like don't cut towards yourself except for these circumstances, and use gloves. And, maybe it'd be a good idea to get a stropping board of some kind. That way I have some way of, just at least realigning and resharpening it on at least on a specific kind of level, functional, etc. But there it is. But yeah, I mean, the fact that I've gotten, and that's after like 3 sessions, essentially, reasonable amounts. And it's, again, it's like, what do I know? What do I not know? And then, I'm learning what I don't know. And a lot of it is trying to figure out like how to deal with the macro cuts. And of course, this is on soap, it's not on wood. With wood, you're not going to be doing a lot of big cuts unless it's like a, a big shim off, a big carbon cut. But even then, you don't want to do deep. And like cutting that board, cutting that piece of board in half was, it was interesting in of itself. And so it's just like, it's a learning process. This bread is overproofed, so it acts like I pulled it to, all right, so I made this bread last night, but I let it overproof because I got distracted and forgot. And then I was like, ah, shit. And so, the chrome structure is really tight. There's no real, holiness. It's a little on the floppy side. It didn't have a lot of oven spring because most of its spring was before cooking. Because I let it sit on the counter too long before I put it in the oven. Which, it's whatever. Such is life. Mistakes happen. It's not going to ruin the bread or anything. So it's too much butter. It's just not usually something I would say. Too much butter is almost a non-existent thing. But it's just too much for that one slice. But yeah, so it's just like with the carving, with the whittling. I think the reason I may have taken a pottery, a sculpture class in college when I came out here to California was maybe subconsciously, a desire to get back to whittling, because most of what we did was also wood, and some of my ideas were a little bit much for my skill set and the time that we had available to us and all. But I liked being back in a wood shop when I was in that sculpture class. Because, we were normally in the sort of pottery class. That was where most of our classes, the classroom part of was taken care of. And then for the majority of our projects, they were wood oriented. And we also had, at the school, we had a wood shop. And that was when there was, a big blow up between me and my stupid ass fucking professor, because the whole time, I hadn't thought that there had been any issue between me and her. The whole time, I'm thinking I'm a good student. I'm not necessarily the best student or anything. And, I will never claim that I am the best student unless there's just objective measures that I can utilize. But that's rarely the case anyway. And even then, I will probably be able to find some manner of subjectivity as well. So it's difficult for me to claim I'm the best at something, especially because of my depression and the fact that I'm just constantly hating on myself. So I'm having a difficult time trying to figure out a project. I have these ideas in my head and I really like what they could be, but they're all very impractical too. One of the things for the wood project, because we had multiple different versions. We had a glass project, we had a wood project, we also had a final project, and it was largely wood oriented. We had multiple mediums. We had I can't remember what the first one was. That one might have been the wood project. I'm not sure. We didn't have that many because you had to spend time on this shit. And so for my wood project, the first thing I wanted to do was make a rope. I wanted to make a rope, a sculpture of wood that looked like rope. Come to find out, that's very difficult to do. So nix that one. And I try to come up with stuff, and I'm running out of time. I only have so much time left, and so I then come up with what I think is a pretty brilliant concept, but it's simple. And so I'm okay, I will make effectively Navi from, Legend of Zelda. And, so I kind of draw it out, write down just some of the basics, and she's like, okay. And we're in the middle of the wood shop, right? I had already done a little bit of woodwork. I had put my wood on the lathe, and then I realized, because I wanted to do something else, and I can't remember, and then I realized, this is going to be problematic. I'm not good at using a lathe. Because a lathe is not easy just because you might think it is. It's definitely not easy. The ability to hold that chisel in the right spot, so that it's not too deep and it's not too shallow, so that you can move it as needed. There's a lot that's there to help you, but your ability to finesse the work is far more important when utilizing a lathe. And I didn't recognize that until I got on the motherfucker. But then I went, and so I think I had been doing something, and then I was like, okay, I want to make this ball. And so I ended up creating a ball, and that's where I started with the lathe. I had to smooth it into a cylinder, and then try to form a ball inside the cylinder without it busting out. So you essentially cut V's, part of it is the rounded ball shape. That way, there's still some structure. And this is a thing that you're basically learning on the fly if you've never learned this stuff, where you have a cylinder that's spinning, and now you've got to try to cut a ball out. Well, you don't want to do it on either side. You want to really do it in the middle, so you have multiple places where you can cut off material while it's still stable. And then as you get further and further on one side, you move to the next, and so on and so forth. And then you kind of, maybe get some sandpaper and smooth it out and what have you. But even then, you're not going to create a perfect fucking sphere by accident. You're going to have to you're going to have to be very skilled at what you're doing to pull that off. And I think I ended up doing a pretty good job of it after the fact. But I was like, I'm never doing that again. That fucker took a long goddamn time. And I realized whatever my previous project idea was just not going to be tenable. And so I had to go back literally to the drawing board, and I start kind of coming up, conjuring ideas, and she's getting impatient with me, and I'm already impatient with myself because I can't fucking think of anything. And so I'm just wasting all this time in this class, getting nothing done. And then I finally figure something out. I go talk to her, and she's like, yeah, okay. To me, that's the green light. I'm already in the room. I've already used the fucking tools and everything. So what do? I go over to the bandsaw. I start working on this thing, and she comes yelling at my ass with my hands mere inches from a moving bandsaw blade. So what do I rationally do? I blow up at this bitch's face, because she was the most difficult asshole I have ever dealt with regarding that. At that moment, everything started coming to life. She kept saying that I was always late, that I was lying about it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where is this coming from? It's like, I've been late to one class, one time, and I sent you a fucking email about it during that time. And it was early on in the fucking classes, but I guess first impressions or some bullshit. I don't fucking know. I had always been on time to that class, except for the one time. And the only reason I was late is because I was literally dealing with admissions crap. So it's apparently she'd been harboring all of this against me the whole time. I had no clue. I'm thinking I'm doing a good job as a fucking student, and she just has some sort of latent hate for me. I don't fucking know. And so I blow up and I'm the one that ends up obviously getting in fucking trouble. The whole thing was bullshit. It even cost me a job, because I was in the radio department, or I was taking a radio related class, an audio production class, and the professor is great. He works over at NPR, the KPCC wing of NPR in Pasadena, and he'd been there forever, and he probably still is for all I know. So, he was kind of mentoring me in a lot of stuff, and I was talking to him about everything. And then a couple of years later, when the possibility of a job opening arrives to where I might, and because I'd still been talking to him throughout my time at the school, a couple of years later, I'm talking to him about it. He's just like, ever since that whole situation with your one teacher, and you getting, having to talk to the dean and everything, it's like, basically I'm a liability. And I'm just like, motherfucker. So, who knows? If it hadn't been for that asshole of a teacher, and whatever her vendetta or agenda was or something. I don't know what the hell it was. Because again, and I know I'm the hero of my own story, but she was flat out 100% wrong about me being late all the time. I was late once. Now, was I waffling and floundering when it came to my responsibility? Sure. But it wasn't like I was just doing it because I'm a lazy fuck. I am a lazy fuck. I was interested in this stuff. But I couldn't get the creative fucking juices flowing. And I was talking to her about it. And I was talking to other people in the class. And I was doing, like, when I couldn't think of something, I'd go talk to other people. Get inspiration from them. And sometimes they'd be talking shit about their own work. And I'm like, look, we're all creatives. We're all creative. It's just sometimes we have to find the right place to do it. Or to find the right thing. Or find the right medium. Whatever it is. And so, but the sheer fact that she had the goddamn balls to walk up to somebody, and she wasn't just like walking and screaming. No, she startled me. Like, I'm a reasonably easy person to startle because of my bullshit, life history and everything. But she did not approach me in a way where I could see her coming. She can't, because I'm in the process of doing this, and she like basically jumps in front of me and is yelling at me and waving her fucking hands while I have my fingers literally less than a couple of inches away from a fucking bandsaw blade. So I'm 100% in the right. I don't give a fuck. My reaction was 100% warranted. And the fact that the dean was on her fucking side, and then even my mentor was on her, it basically used that one experience and my sort of follow-up incredulity towards her as a reason to not potentially, bring me on into the fucking NPR world. I mean, that would have been cool for me. It probably would have actually had a career, but whatever. Can't do anything about it fucking now. So now, I'm back to whittling. I'm cutting wood with my hands. So fucking bandsaw. I don't have an asshole professor who is going to try and come and startle me whenever the fuck I'm doing something she deems is incorrect. Like, she was saying that I had to get permission, and I was just like, what? First of all, I have already used these tools. I am in your class. Where in the syllabus, or even in the fucking room, does it say I have to get permission every single time I'm in this room with you and in this class? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Again, I don't know. I don't know what was going on inside of her fucking head. She retired like a couple semesters later too. So like, whatever. It's not great, but it's still good. That's why you check every, 10, 20 minutes. When your oven is sitting at 500 degrees, and you've got dough sitting 2 feet away in a container, it's a good idea to check it every, 10 or 20 minutes or so. That way, it doesn't become like a weird wet sponge. But I mean, again, it still tastes good. It doesn't really matter. So, yeah. And got the backpack, so that's good. I got like $160 left on the card. On the gift card. The backpack was $100. But it should last me a while, too. One of the reasons I wanted it is because I wanted it as an option for the personal luggage on the airplane, because I've got my, I guess I can show you. Got my suitcase. It's got all this reflective tape on it and everything. Like, nobody wants to steal this. But it has all that reflective tape and everything, so it's more visible at any given moment, especially when it happens to be on, like, you know, a carousel or whatever. And so, yeah, you know, I had some left over at one point, and I wasn't using my bike anymore because my bike was the main reason I had reflective tape in the first place. Because what I'd do is I'd cut strips, and then I'd stick it on parts of the bike. And I had some left over, and then the bike got stolen. And I was thinking maybe I'd get another bike, but then it didn't happen. So I was like, well, and I was thinking, and I was going to be going to Jamaica. If that ever happened. But that's why I stuck it on there, because I was like, well, because I got that specifically to go to Jamaica. It was right before COVID times. I bought it, and then I stuck it on, I think, during COVID times, because then I found the tape. So yeah, if that thing's sitting on a carousel, like, something that I have realized in the past 6 years, basically ever since COVID, is that most all of my concerns don't fucking matter. It's not to say that they don't, it's not to say that some of those concerns don't matter. Most of them don't. And when I mean most, I'm talking like the numerous but small concerns. The very small concerns, like what are people going to think of me, et cetera, et cetera. Like, my hair's all kinds of fucked up right now because of how long it is. This has been an ongoing, awkward stage of hair growth. I've never had long hair every fucking day of my life since last January, and then, you know, it was kind of like paused during August before I went to Vegas for just a couple of days to get away from the fucking shelter. But like now, especially, every day is the longest my hair has ever been. And I don't know what kind of type, I don't know what hair type it is. I don't know what kind of treatment I need to do for it. I don't know what looks good. You know, I can shave my fucking hair and trim my beard, and I know that looks good. And I know having short hair is generally okay for me. But even then, certain styles are like a specific kind of thing. And so I'm like, I'm in brand new, untrodden, you know, just completely untrodden territory. And while it does give me a little bit of self-consciousness, most of the time I'm like, fuck it, whatever. With this shirt, for instance, you know, it's a Pizza John shirt. And it's like, it's the only red shirt that I possess. And I've been afraid of wearing anything other than blue, black, navy, and gray for most of my life. And sure, most of my shirts still are that color, or that color scheme. But it's whatever, man. It's just like, these things don't fucking matter. My housing matters. My cleanliness matters. My back matters. You know, the creative things that I do to fulfill my life, those things that matter. Whether or not I'm wearing, you know, you can't really see it from here, of course, but whether or not I'm wearing 2 different colored socks is irrelevant. Who fucking cares? And those who do, you know, it's like, what is that statement? Those that matter that don't, or those that care don't matter. Those that matter don't care. And that's true for a lot of shit in life, you know? And so it's like, I don't remember why I brought that up. But it's relevant, it's important. You know, I've been buying, like, I have the red gloves, and then I have the red case on there. So I have 2 more of these. Because I was like, I need at least 1 more. And then I was like, yeah, they're good. They're cheap enough. I get 2. And they're anchor hocking, too, so. and I've liked their glass works for quite a while now. I bought them at the recommendation of a Reddit post. Like, people were just raving over them. And I was like, well, let's try it out. And that's what all my glassware is for the most part. I've got a variety of sizes of these. And this is Anchor Hocking. That's vinegar, by the way. There's a bit of scale on the sink spout, and so I was like, all right, let's just dip some vinegar in it and then run it out and clean it. All right, I think I'm going to be done for now. Have fun.